And now it's a time to learn how to ask what is this in Spanish and how to answer. After that, we will take a look at the construction of the sentences and we will learn how we make a sentence in Spanish. Let's see. Este masculine and esta feminine. Este and esta are demonstratives that generally precede a noun. So, este, it means this, and it precedes a masculine noun, and esta, it means this, and it precedes a feminine noun. For example, how to say this book? This book. Book, it's libro. Libro, it's a masculine noun. So we say este libro, this book. How to say this cat? Cat, it's gato. And gato, it's masculine noun, so we say este gato. Now, how to say this house? This house. House, it's casa. Casa, it's feminine noun. So we say esta casa. Esta casa. How to say this table? Table, it's mesa. And mesa, it's feminine noun, so we say esta mesa. Esta mesa. Naturally, there is also the plural form. For este, este singular, in plural it will become estos. So, este libro, estos libros, these books. And for esta, it's easy, it will become estas. Esta casa, it will become in plural estas casas, these houses. So we repeat one more time. Este and esta, they are demonstratives that generally precede a noun, to say this. But este precedes masculine nouns and esta precedes feminine nouns. For example, este libro, this book. Esta casa, this house. And the plural form, it will be, for este, it will become estos, este libro, estos libros. And for esta, it will become estas. Esta casa, estas casas. And now the demonstrative esto. Esto is a neuter pronoun that we can use to refer to something indefinite that is near. For example, to ask what is this, we say ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? What is this? For example, es un libro, it's a book. Or esto es un libro, it's a book. Es una mesa, it's a table. Or esto es una mesa, it's a table. As you notice here, un libro masculine, una mesa feminine, but we can say esto es un libro, esto es una mesa, because esto is a neuter pronoun that we can use to speak about something masculine or something feminine. But pay attention, is not used with nouns directly. So we cannot say esto libro or esto mesa. No. Este libro, esta mesa. But we can say esto es un libro, esto es una mesa. Esto is also used to talk about a situation. For example, if you want to say, I don't like this, I don't want this, you can also use esto because it's a neuter pronoun. For example, I don't like this. Esto no me gusta. Esto no me gusta. This is very complicated. Esto es muy complicado. Esto es muy complicado. Now, let's take a look at the construction of the sentences. The construction of sentences. So, to make a sentence in Spanish, first we need the subject, and we need verb, and after that we can add complements. For example, el camarero trae una cerveza. Here, el camarero is the subject, trae is the verb, una cerveza is a complement. The waiter brings a beer. The waiter brings a beer. So, el camarero, the waiter, subject. Trae es el verbo traer, it means to bring. Verb, una cerveza, a beer, is a complement. So, subject, verb, complements. El camarero trae una cerveza. Now, when we have negation, the negation must be directly before the verb. For example, el camarero no trae una cerveza. The waiter does not bring a beer. So here, no, the place of the negation, must be before the verb, not after. It's wrong to say el camarero trae no una cerveza. No, we say el camarero no trae una cerveza. So the negation is always placed before the verb. El camarero trae una cerveza. El camarero no trae una cerveza. The interrogative sentence. How we ask a question. Interrogative sentences have two question marks. One at the beginning, a question mark at the beginning, and one at the end, one question mark at the end. The idea of putting a question mark at the beginning is to show that what's following is a question. So when you read this, when you see this question mark at the beginning, so you know that what's following is a question. Then you can increase the tone of your voice. For example, in our example here, trae el camarero una cerveza. You see, in the end, you increase the tone of your voice. So you show, and the one who is listening to you, he will understand that you are asking a question. Trae el camarero una cerveza. We increase the tone of our voice. So, the usual structure of the interrogative sentence is verb, subject, complements. So here, the verb will come first, not the subject. When we ask a question, the verb will come first, not the subject. Trae el camarero una cerveza. Does the waiter bring a beer? Here we ask, in English, we ask the past tense. Did the waiter bring a beer? But trae el camarero una cerveza. In Spanish, here we use the present tense. Does the waiter bring a beer? Trae, verb, el verbo traer, to bring. El camarero, the waiter, the subject. And una cerveza, the complement. So remember, when we have an affirmative sentence, the subject comes first, then the verb, then the complements. El camarero trae una cerveza. El camarero, subject, trae, verb, una cerveza, the complement. But when we have an interrogative sentence, then the verb comes first, then the subject, then the complements. Trae el camarero una cerveza. Trae, the verb, el camarero, the subject, una cerveza, the complement. And finally, the interrogative pronouns are always placed in the first place in the sentence and always have an accent. So when we have an interrogative pronoun, for example, what, where, with whom, why, then the interrogative pronoun will come in the first place in the sentence, before the verb and before the subject. For example, ¿Qué trae el camarero? What does the waiter bring? ¿Qué trae el camarero? ¿Qué is the interrogative pronoun, trae is the verb, and el camarero is the subject. Another example, ¿A dónde viajan ellas? ¿A dónde viajan ellas? Where do they travel to? ¿A dónde is the interrogative pronoun, viajan is the verb, and ellas is the subject. So first interrogative pronoun, then verb, then subject. ¿Qué leéis vosotros? ¿Qué leéis vosotros? What do you read? What do you read? ¿Qué is the interrogative pronoun? Leéis is el verbo leer, to read, the verb, and vosotros is the subject. Our final example, ¿Con quién viven ellos? ¿Con quién viven ellos? With whom do they live? ¿Con quién is the interrogative pronoun? Viven, verbo vivir, to live, is the verb, and ellos is the subject. And don't forget to put the accent. When we have interrogative pronoun, we always put the accent. ¿Qué? ¿Qué trae el camarero? ¿Dónde? ¿A dónde viajan ellas? ¿Qué? ¿Qué leéis vosotros? ¿Con quién? ¿Con quién viven ellos? And now it's time to practice.